This is a really important subject because if you get your heart broken, it's really, really hard to perform.
I did when I was 26. And it was,
Tell me about it.
So I was in a long distance relationship with this girl from Sweden, and I'd never felt anything like it before. Like I was fully in love. It was like being on a drug.
Yeah.
But gradually over time, that the distance was becoming more of a problem. More so for her because she wanted to be with her partner more often. Like I could go a month without seeing her, or even 2 months. It would suck, but I could do that. And then eventually it got to the point where she couldn't handle it anymore, and she sent me a message saying that she'd basically started speaking to someone else. And that like cut me deep because I was trying to do everything to keep the relationship working. I was even contemplating moving to Sweden to make it work.
Right.
But I felt like I'd kind of lost my best friend. I'd lost this person this was the only person I'd ever been in love with, someone who I'd actually thought about having kids with and maybe even marrying. And for her to just give it up so easily and just be like, I don't know, like I'm speaking to somebody else. Like there was about a 2-month period where I was lost. I was confused with that. Never cheated on her. Like I was super loyal. I didn't really have any friends in London. I just moved down to London. So I felt like I was fully on my own.
Alone, yeah.
But it was one of the best things that happened to me because all of a sudden I realized, right, okay, all these invitations that I was saying no to, social events, parties and so on, because I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I'd be tempted. I was now free to do whatever I wanted. So then I was like, well, I don't need to be here. I'm gonna go travel. I'm gonna go meet up with some people.
Right.
So that year, I think it was 2018, that's when I started to fully come out of my shell. I started getting smoother with the ladies. I traveled a lot, saw a lot, and it was amazing. And in a way, I think as bad as it sounds, like I turned quite cold after that. But I like that because
necessary.
I don't like the idea of getting too emotionally involved with someone, because if you do catch feelings for someone, a lot will change. Like all of a sudden you stray off your path. You start getting soft, you start getting weak, too available, too nice. And then if that does happen, you actually end up pushing that girl away that you really like.
Yeah, I think that, well, again, it kind of goes back to if she's the only source to give attention to, you know, you're always going to have your favorite, right? Your main chick, right? The one you actually love the most. You're always going to have that. You might even have a second favorite that you give more attention to than 3, 4, or 5. I hate to say it this way.
Yeah.
But if you distribute it in that way, it still becomes he loves me not. And this is about keeping the relationship going, right? Especially if you care about her. I'm sure there's feminists that'll watch this and be pissed at me for what I'm saying. But it's true. It's completely true. And, you know, I'd be interested to know, has she called you back yet?
Oh, the moment I started leveling up, when she saw me traveling, she saw me, the following was going up, the income was going up. It was almost every day she would send me a message.
Yep.
Almost every day. That went on for about 2 years.
Yeah. Good.
But I was just like, nice.
Now you live in her dreams, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. And I can tell you, because I have gotten this phone call from mine, you like, I live in her dreams. And good. Good, man.
I said it's to anyone that goes and has a horrible breakup and is feeling terrible. Like the best thing for you to do is just to level up.
Only thing to do.
It's only a matter of time before you'll get a message back.
Absolutely. Especially if you don't contact them.
Yeah.
Because they will watch you.
Yeah.
Because they want to know. I think women place bets on men. And so when she pulled her bet off of you, she's going to look back just because FOMO, just how women are, right? She's like, well, did I make the right decision or not? Because this guy didn't work out. He wasn't what he said he was. And now this guy's going like this. Fuck. Let me see if I can jump back on that, you know? And a lot of times, I've never had an experience where I've had something like that happen, or like what happened with me is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I've not had a girl like go another direction on me, but by the time they loop back to you, you're often not interested, you know, because you've kind of created that gap between you. And because she's also aging with you a lot of the time. So you're getting a 32-year-old version of her, let's say, rather than, you know, the 24-year-old version of her. And you're at a completely different, you're now at your prime. Y'all have switched in the power dynamic. But that's based off a lot of hard work. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
You know, I know that was certainly the case for me. And I completely agree with you. You nailed it. Any young man that feels like it's all, bro, take that energy and go put it into the man that you become. And it will not, it might be a long time-wise, years, but it won't seem like a long time, and you'll get that phone call.
Yeah.
For sure.
It will suck, but it's only temporary.
Right.
And better things will come after that. I just say to people, look, that chapter of your life is finished. Close the door. You start on a new one.
1000%. I find that I get really sober when I've had my heart broken. Like some people drink, bro, I trained. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like you just want to sit in it and just like feel it, because it really is. Honestly, I think it's outside of pure ambition. I think heartbreak can save a guy's life. You know, get him really on the right track. If he puts it in the right frame, if he's like, okay, I got broken up with, but if I was this kind of guy, I wouldn't have got broken up with, you know? And then they use it and it just lights that fire and it's just boom, rocket ship. That's what I did. It clearly seems that's what you did. I do think that's the most healthy route because you are going to have so much more choice and option. And you change your life in 8 months, a year and a half, maybe. And so now you have a bunch of other options when it comes to women. You've forgotten about this girl after a year and a half, 2 years, more than likely. And then she calls you after you've made this huge progress. Well, it's super easy not to do it, you know? So
do you think guys in their late teens, early 20s should just prioritize work, building their career before prioritizing relationships?
1000%. I always say this.